Become masculine like our ancestors. Masculinity. A cowboy, the strong and silent man's man, is the iconic figure of masculinity. The same cowboy also has a certain fragileness. The perception of a man usually does not reveal the fragile side. Over the last several videos, we have been discussing masculinity in different dimensions, a nearly universal code of manhood. But what is unique about manhood isn't simply its tenets, but that it is structured as a code. Where does manhood come from? Is it innate or culturally constructed? Why has an emphasis on manhood receded in the modern day? Masculinity is a quality of a man who empowers strength and expertise to achieve goals easier. The essence of being masculine illustrates powerful behavior such as courage and audacity. Masculinity is all about strength and toughness, but behind every man is a soft, tender side. For many years and even still today, there is a social standard for men to be manly. Rugged outdoor work and sports are commonly associated with masculinity, but behind the scenes, nurturing and delicacy are just as much a part of men as women. However, that is not the case. Surveys are beginning to show that males are gaining more respect for females, which is allowing them to open up and reveal their own softer side. Just because a man doesn't play a sport doesn't mean he isn't masculine. Genetics determines male or female. Masculinity is a quality of a man who empowers strength and expertise to achieve goals easier. Everybody who does not fit the idea of masculinity has been placed in the other category. Kids have a hard time to self-identify themselves because of all the masculine role models that present themselves in the media. Masculinity has created a structured binary that makes their role the ideal role for society to be. The ideal role is traced back to a long history of old traditions that society cannot look past. This idea of masculinity has created complications within gender and sexuality that have made people hold on to heteronormative ideals. The heteronormative ideals have created a privileged society where white males dominate the world and place everyone who does not fit into their binary into the other people category. In today's society, masculinity has changed over time. Rewind 100 years ago, masculinity is defined as being strong and having a good-paying job. But as the world is changing, so is the representation of manliness. You don't have to show your dominance over men or women today, but you should support your family nowadays, and we have all been brainwashed by the thought of masculinity from our ancestors. As men, our reputation is always being valued, but now it isn't so much about our reputation, but also about caring for one another and especially for our families. The perspective of manhood is also a significant factor in portraying what masculinity is in the eyes of other people. Masculinity has been shown through money, appearance, and protecting your family members. But as we shift into the modern world, masculinity is not seen as displaying the most discipline, but caring for one another by taking out some of your time to help one another. In cultures all around the world, being a man has been differentiated from being a male. Being a male is a matter of pure biology, the result of being born with an XY chromosome. Being a man, on the other hand, is a title of honor, a prize that must be earned through struggle, through trials of courage, skill, and endurance. A boy does not become a man automatically through the passing of years, but by striving to demonstrate excellence in manhood. Men usually conform to what society perceives, with rules of how a man should behave and act. We all might not be lucky enough to grow up with a father or a father figure who openly expresses love and showers us with attention because it's been considered weak. Most of the time, they were the biggest absent figure in a family due to work and other reasons. Many women and children step up and fill the role, adopting warrior-like energy. This subconsciously pushes the female to connect with their masculine energy more than their receiving and gentler feminine energy. Our relationship with our father hugely affects us. It shapes us emotionally and psychologically while growing up and affects our relationships with people around us over time. It is often complicated and problematic. Therefore, we often hear women choose a partner with qualities like their father. If you have an unhealthy relationship with your parents, chances are it affects your attachment style. Just because men have more dominant masculine energy, it doesn't mean they have less capacity for emotions and love. It's only a matter of how and when they understand and express that. A boy who was forced to grow up into adulthood is often a wounded child left abandoned, neglected, and incomplete. Imagine that for your father or yourself. How does it feel? Who has compassion for this little boy taking up all the adult responsibilities? It might take them a while to process and feel their emotions, but it is there. Have some patience. This patience is equally essential to understanding all facts of our emotions. Showing emotions is not weak. It is one of the most powerful things one can do. Masculinity touches on the complicated issues homeless men face, especially in terms of adapting to the pressures of hegemonic masculinity. The mental and physical stress of homelessness for men stems from a denial of identity due to the rigid construction of manliness. Homeless men lose their connection to the same power other men come to expect. They lose their place in society. Like everything in the universe, the yin and yang coexist. We all have masculine and feminine energy within us, regardless of gender. We often associate masculine energy with a man, a father figure, but it is not always the case. They embody the stronger side of that energy, while tough and assertive women are often more connected to their masculine energy. The masculine energy usually represents logic, structure, confidence, assertiveness, boundaries, etc. Hence, it is more seen in the father figure as we grow up, because in most families, fathers are the ones who provide a structure for the home and keep it safe. When we connect to our masculine energy, embrace it, respect it, and use it. Have you asked yourself, how are you integrating these qualities into your daily life? Have they helped you in times of decision-making or crisis? Society's current structure of masculinity is unforgiving in form. It cuts out other forms of masculinity. It is physically and mentally demanding, and its ill effects extend far beyond the men it infuses itself in. Yet, what would we do if we were given other options for masculinity? Ones that allowed for unique blends of attitudes and perceptions. Looking into the lives of homeless men, we can see the 4 strategies which create new masculine codes created for the adaptation against patriarchal pressures. They are made out of survival needs to circumnavigate the painful mental and physical reality that is only made worse by harsh masculine standards. Yet these new masculinities hold out a form of hopefulness for society, offer new suspensions about what it means to be a man, the potential for change, and what we can expect from changes in male identity over time. Using what we learn from the disadvantaged, we can hope to improve the lives of people, although the process will take time, effort, and careful meditation. Sometimes I wonder, for a man being honored on Father's Day, does it mean acknowledging their achievement at work and providing a good life for their family? Have they ever been honored for their emotions, love, devotion, and dedication to their families? In the animal kingdoms and mankind, men are always the ones who go out hunting and fighting for life. Has anyone honored their courage, bravery, and sense of duty? We are living the legacy of our ancestors. Emotions and trauma have been passed on for generations, and sometimes it is hard to change specific patterns and belief systems. Masculinity is a seemingly simple concept. Yet, when examined more closely, it is clear that masculinity is constantly changing in its definition as well as in its most basic essence. Throughout the years, one can see this evolution firsthand by looking back at the men who have been portrayed in popular media in the United States of America. From the suave Don Draper types of the 1950s to the more casual, educated, and easygoing men with perfectly chiseled abs, of course, that are portrayed in media today, the difference is clear. This drastic yet unsurprising shift in ideals, as well as the exponential increase of media consumed every day, has led to a change in how masculinity is perceived, as well as how it is enforced by society in the modern day. Alarmingly, this trend has led to the birth of so-called toxic masculinity, a bastardization of the original ideas behind masculinity, which has an enormous detrimental effect on society as a whole. In conclusion, human fatherhood is extremely variable. In some societies, men provide very little parental care, removing them altogether and little changes in the lives of their children. In other societies, good fathers play a crucial role. Their economic support makes a big difference. Their emotional support can too. Furthermore, these men want to support their children, and not surprisingly, men who like childcare are more attractive to women. Are these human males an aberration of nature? Hardly. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Be sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.